All right, another day has gone by, and I have most of these floorboards down, but I have to keep everything in here because they keep predicting rain. And before I could put this part of the floor in, I have to fix this part of the ceiling. This is where one of the major leaks were, right in here. And we can see that this is rotted here. This support was put up to hold it during the travel. I have to connect this somehow to here, or I think there was a piece maybe that came this way. It doesn't look like it came all the way to the end. It looks like it was connected over here, but this piece is rotted out. And if you look here, you can see daylight coming in from under this vent. Here's where the other leak was, over here. And I don't see it now, but if I catch it just right, I can see daylight coming in the seam. This was a vent over here. It has a cap, but the cap has a hole in it that I think if I just cork that, I'll be okay. And here's where the split was, where the roof actually opened up. So I'm gonna go outside, go on top, and see what we have out there. I wanted to power wash this before I brought it back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And we have little openings like this where I'm just going to cork this, fill it with cork. There's a couple of those here and there. This is what we look like on top. Started working on this and I said, well, this might be good to show. I never restored one of these before, so I'm probably doing things that aren't according to book. But you can see that this top is opened here. This looks like it was tarred once before. This was tarred also. You can see there's a crack over here. There's that opening I was telling you about. This vent looks okay, but you can see daylight going through there. See the orange? And if I put it over here, I don't know, maybe a screw was supposed to be in there to keep it from flying off. What I'm going to do is just get some cork in there. I'm not quite sure on how to handle this. Here's where the seam opened up on the inside. You can see that roof just opened right across. So this was an ongoing problem. This is nothing new. This tar is as hard as a rock, and it just opened up. Now, with this over here, I was just thinking about taking this vent out altogether. This trailer has plenty of windows for ventilation for the chickens. I would like to keep this here, but it's plastic. I would have to reinforce it underneath to make sure nothing would get through. Yeah, look at this. Make sure nothing would get in here and get to the chickens. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull this out, put a piece of metal underneath, and tar it, cork it, whatever I have to do. For this tar up here, I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if I should be scraping it off, or if I heated it with a torch, would it melt back down? Man, this is in really bad shape. But to get these screws out, I don't want to go ripping everything apart, because like I said, I don't want to be rebuilding this whole trailer. To get these screws out is a little bit of a job. Can't get a wrench on it, so I have to chip away. This is a little time consuming here. I have to chip away at the tar that's around it, and then I'm grabbing it with a pair of vice grips to screw these screws out. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to go all the way around, pop this off, see what it looks like and how I have to shore it up on the inside. And once this is done and I figure out what to do with this, I'm going to finish the flooring in the bottom. Once I finish the flooring, I could put the ceiling up, finish the inside of this wall, do the little touch up. The front window has to be caulked, and there was something else that I'm missing. Oh, I have to close this side, and I have to make a door for the other side for the chickens to get in and out of. So this should be done in a day, but like I said, I'm just not sure what to do with this. We have metal here. I think what I like to do is just tar the whole roof and lay tar paper right across on it, let the tar paper stick onto that, and I don't know. Or maybe get a roll of that roofing paper. I have to see. I had to go out and get some supplies for this today, and I'm losing daylight now. Let me get started, and I'll be back with any updates. All right, it's the next morning, and yesterday they predicted that it was going to be a sunny day today, and that today the prediction is it's going to be cloudy. I don't know if we're going to get any rain, but everything was wet when I came out from the dew, and I have that opening in the roof. So let me show you what I have here. And it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't get into reclaim, recycle, repair, and reuse. This is a piece of aluminum that I picked up when I did a clean out one time. I had it rolled up and put in the back, and this is what I'm going to use to patch that hole where the vent was. See these two shears? I have aviation snips that I use all the time, but somebody threw these out. I actually picked these up in the dump. Worked fine. Anyway, let me show you what I have on the inside here. I was going to the dump today. This is my recycling day to get rid of some junk and pick up some mulch. But I have this wide open over here, and you saw the sky. This is the repair that I'm working on right now. Maybe a better view this way. You can see this piece of wood went across, and there was a box over there that vent was boxed into. You can see how it's rotted on the end, and the people I picked this up from, they were kind enough to support this roof, so when I got it back home, it didn't fall apart altogether. But it's slightly high, and it's pushing it up. You can see how high this is. And it should be over here. As a matter of fact, I goofed up. I didn't realize it until I was outside. I'm about a 1/4 inch high. I don't know what kind of problem that may cause me. But I'm gonna leave the support in until I get back on top. What I plan on doing is to put that piece of sheet metal in, drop this down to where it's got to go, and I have these angle brackets that I'm going to screw into here and to here. I put this in, so when I screw the sheet metal from the top, it has something to bite into. And this piece of wood was rotted over here. This piece of wood I added on. It was an afterthought. It was a little difficult getting those screws in there. I have 2.5 inch screws going through it. So the end piece of the sheet metal also has some solid wood to screw into. So this is going to be supporting this area here, in addition to this cross member. Now, oh, and also, play safe. This wood, it's not rotted out, but it was pretty wet. It's a little soft, not soft, but it's definitely not solid over here. And being that this is a support member, first I put the screws in this way to hold on to this 2x4. Then I put this 2-foot piece across here to support this cross member. So this cross member is supported, and it's up against the wall. It's holding this, which, you know, now that I'm looking at it, I'm also going to put a piece going from here to here. I'm going to have to come back a little bit because I have these double. But I'm going to put a cross piece here. I can't go under here because the ceiling panels have to go up, and it would be a big bulge over there. But I do have these metal plates I'm going to put on, and hopefully that'll be enough. Okay, so let me go outside and show you what's on top. All right, change of plans. I have to take the support out because I can't take this under with that support over here. It's holding it up. I should have realized that when I was in there. All right, I have the patch in. I don't have this as clean as I would like it, but I'm looking at these skies over here. I hate doing a job twice or wasting product, but this has to be closed up. The original leak I came up here for was this leak over here. When you're inside, you can see a little daylight coming in here. I pulled the screws from the side, and you can see that this metal was pulled in. I tried tapping it down. I loosened this up. See how it should be over here? There's that a little bit of a lip. They don't have much of a lip. It's like, well, it looks like maybe 1/8 of an inch. And over here, it just pulled through. Maybe from somebody standing on here. I don't know. Anyway, I put these screws in to hold this down. This one went right through. This where that rotted wood must be underneath. What I'm going to do, this was an afterthought. Otherwise, I would have put the screws, these bottom screws in after I put this in. I cut another piece of aluminum here. And I'm going to screw this in. I'm going to screw this down, just a couple of screws. And I'll screw it in from the side. And this will give it a drip edge. So the water will come over, won't be going in. Now, this, I would like to take all this off and put a whole new coat on. But time isn't going to allow for that right now. So, I'm not going to film, I'm not going to video putting that sealant on. Because it's very sticky. Don't want to get it on the camera. Don't want to fall off the slider while I'm trying to video and spread it. It says not to spread it more, not to lay it down more than 1/8 of an inch, to put it down with a trowel. So that would work just right. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to come up to this. I'm going to go past here a little bit. I'm going to try to get a little bit more of this off. This morning I washed this with soap and water, thinking I was only going to come up to here, and then should have realized I was going to come further out. This I cleaned off with the drill and the wire wheel. And this over here, this has to be leaking. Look at this. But I'm only going to come up to here for now and button this up, see what it looks like before I put those panels on. And this definitely has to be done. If I can, I'll get back out here today. My trip to the dump to get rid of that wagon load I have down over there. You see that? To get rid of that trailer load I have down there. It's not happening today. It's already past the time I gotta be there. So I'll be spending more time up on this roof. I'm gonna clean off all these tools, spread the sealant, and start working on the inside again. That sealant's supposed to dry in about 2 hours, depending on weather conditions. In about a half hour, I'm gonna go up there and take a look. But this can wasn't a new can. The can was open once before. This was a protective layer. Air got into the can, and this is what I had to go through to get the rest of it out. I tell you, if you can get a roof that thick, you'd be in good shape. I'm gonna take a quick look up there. I'm done with the roof for today. This is a piece I have to get in here too. This is the back corner of the trailer. I'm gonna try to tuck this in a little bit. I'll cork it, and if I have to, I'll get a piece of aluminum to screw into here, and cork it on the top and in here. Just keep it from getting wet. The whole idea about the water not going in here, don't want to build up mold in there. These chickens end up getting sick. Okay, this is what I have. This is where the patch is. This is where the seam, where the patch is. Didn't need it over the patch, but just so water wouldn't go in and seep in there. Right about over here is where the seam is. I went down this way a little bit, but all this has to be done. That piece where that screen is resting, that definitely has to be done. That's where the collapse was. This is the leak I came up here for originally. This was opened. I put that piece in. I made like a drip edge. I put it on top instead of the bottom. But the reason I did that, if I put it on the bottom, it would have messed up where the other part was actually flanged over. I put some screws in there. They really didn't take that well. But this is all sealed off now. This had a little hole in here, and it went right through. So I put some of that sealant in there. And again, here's more of that sealant that came out of the can. So for now, I'm just going to leave this, let it dry. And I think that should be it. It looks like I could There's a screw right here. This is where the screwdriver will go in. I thought I sealed that all up pretty well. But this stuff is messy to work with. Definitely old clothes, old pants, old shirts, and gloves. But if I didn't have to go through that protective layer over there, I don't think it would have been as rough to work with. And take your tools down before you start doing this. I thought I was going to be so careful with it. Well, one of the cords from the drill hit it, and what a mess I had to clean up afterwards. Got a little sloppy here, but when it dries, I just scrape that off. That's it for the roof today. I'm going to go inside and finish that floor.